Boom. Hello. Hello. Yeah, no, I'm not. It's not going sound, so I have to stop. Boom. Oh no, no, no! There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Cool,
it's not
cool,
going
cool.
sound, so I have to stop.
Cool.
Oh no.
There we go. Awesome. I don't need the chat there. Boom. Busting it out. Busting out on some serious funk. Busting out. Busting out. All right, so we're in. So, you weren't able to hear me there earlier on the stream, and I bet that people are going to cancel out, but nobody was in here, so that's okay. Review what I missed, what I mentioned when I was blanked out was that last week wasn't a fantastic week. It's been pretty rough. The following week or the prior week before that, I did okay. I came out on the plus by just a unit, which everyone says, yeah, that's great. At least you were not in the black, but I still prefer to make some money, right? Like if you're making $100, I didn't put in a lot of work or research into the card, so I wasn't too salty about it, or as salty as I normally would. I definitely was still a little butt sore that I didn't win the money that I wanted to win, because my incremental wager amount, or the bankroll that I've been working with, has increased. It's gotten larger. So when you risk more and you don't make as much profit as you want, it's something that I'm not very happy with. Because I was doing better when I was actually wagering less increments. So, I was on the, again, as I mentioned, I was on the Tefan Nichui money line, which I was on it pretty strongly here. Didn't turn out to be a good bet. He got flatlined in just a moment. I was betting violence. I was betting distance prop. I looked at it and all my distance props, I think I thought were, even after watching the fights, I was happy with them. They didn't end up the way I wanted to, because I was going with not the distance in the bout between TJ Brown and Shailan Nurumbede. So that didn't happen, and I went strong on those. I was very strong on the distance props, like I am this week. On UFC 276, I'm actually focused more on the distance props than I am on any other bets. Those are going to be, there are a couple of distance prop bets that are going to be my primary plays for those. I also went, with that bout between TJ Brown and Shailan Nurumbeka. I also had TJ Brown by submission, which didn't happen. I was betting not to go the distance in violence in the bout between Ruslan Pavia and Sergey Morozov. That didn't work out. I did win the Alain Boudet not to go the distance play that I made, as well as I did have it over 1.5, so it was a decent win there. Didn't bet enough there, but the not to go the distance on the bouts between Ruslan Pavia and Sergey Morozov, and this one here, Nathan Menez and Umar Nurmagomedov, were my main plays. I also lost money on Vanessa Demopoulos in that particular card, and I didn't have a lot of money wagered on that. Those were my primary plays for that evening. I know in the description that we had that I was going to be having a Dovetail Kolsh style ale for just this little live session, but I ran to the fridge and we're going to have a Lagunitas little something. I had some of these colder. The Kolsh ones, I put one in the freezer just now. You could drink those warm, or at least a different temperature. And we are indeed going to have this Ramon Allones Corona. I believe it's a 42 gauge, 40 gauge. This cigar is older than most of you out there. This cigar is actually older than me. This cigar is from I believe it's from 1962. It is a Dunhill cigar. Dunhill at one point had the exclusives. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on. I guess not. This was at one point one of my favorite cigars. This is the last one I have. It is dry. I haven't like rehumidified them, but someone said, yeah, go smoke a cigar. So I might as well smoke something that people aren't going to be able to smoke. This cigar you'll never find anywhere. You'll never find again. And it's a once in a lifetime cigar. I'm gonna smoke it. It's been dry. It's been there. I don't know how it's going to taste. It could be just like certain wines that would turn to vinegar after a while once they get too old. Yeah, even some cigars, if they don't have the correct blend, won't have any flavor. So I don't know how this one. These used to be the best, most flavorful cigars, in my opinion, for myself. I also like the Monte Cristos from Canary Islands. At one time, the Monte Cristos were made in the Canary Islands, and now I believe they're still made in the Dominican Republic. Of course, they're made in Cuba, but they're also some of the Monte Cristos from the Canary Islands that are superb. But this Ramon Allones, I believe it has a Mexican binder in it. I believe this one also, it's not from the Canary Islands, it is Dominican. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic little cigar. We're going to have it with the Lagunitas little something, then we're going to run through a little bit of this card. I don't know if I should jump to my main bets. We'll answer stuff in the chat. We'll continue to go. I think this is a fantastic card that we're going to watch. From a betting standpoint, absolutely a horrendous card. I would advise most people, got a little fly there. I got to get that sucker. Most people to avoid this card. From a betting standpoint, I do not think this is a dog or pass. It is a choose your spot wisely. I think there are better betting lines for us in the future that are laid out there. I don't like this card at all. I mean, some props, like, for example, right away, I'll mention that I like, for example, Andre Muniz. I've been scoring and cashing Andre Muniz the past year. All those subs that he's made, I picked all of them. Had some inside information on how good of a grip this man has. You see his tall size against Uriah Hall. We know that Uriah Hall has a great stature himself, and Muniz was bigger than this guy. So that's another thing that I was excited about. Of course, the big story is Muniz's cardio. How well is he going to do? And Uriah Hall's takedown defense. I'll put it out there. One of my main plays still, like a lot of other cappers, I've heard it from a few people, had time to look at other people's content, is Andre Muniz, my sub. It's somewhere in hovering at the minus 121 range, at least with Rivers at this point. I still got to play it. I've been playing it for the past year. So, welcome. So, I've been playing for the past year, so it's hard not to go to that well. Muniz is a damn good grappler. And him by submission, it's minus 112. So, that number, I hate that a submission prop bet is minus 112. That is ridiculous. That's absurd. It angers me. I can't go hard on it, but I have to play it. I still have to play it because, certain people that if I have to, go with what I've been winning with. And he's been winning by sub. That's his means of victory. That's his path to victory. That's his win condition. And the guy's just one of the top grapplers, top MMA jiu-jitsu practitioners in the UFC right now. Other than Charles Oliveira, I think that Andre Muniz could be the best submission grappler in the UFC. He's up to, Paul Craig. I think he's better than Paul Craig. Like, Muniz has got like some skills. So let's see if he could chain jiu-jitsu his way to this victory. And I think he can. I think with his size, Uriah Hall is such a passive. I've talked about it. We cannot bet on Uriah Hall. The pitter-pattering, the cat pawing, the passiveness. And Andre Muniz is going to get chances to hit him. So he's going to be able to close distance. Hall will be wise to almost do what Curtis did last week and just practice. He should be drilling takedown defense, sprawling, pushing guys away again and again, because otherwise that submission is going to come. He's never been submitted in his career, but that submission is going to come. But here's a play I'll give you right away as well. Joey and I like this play. We like the over 1.5 at plus 120 in this bout between Uriah Hall and Andre Muniz. I'm not going to we don't have to go in an order of what we're going to be doing and we're going to be talking about, but that is something we're going to look at because maybe Hall's takedown defense survives a little bit. It lasts, Muniz isn't able to grab him down, because Hall himself is very, very strong and does have decent, let me just say decent. I mean, he's like in the 60% range. I was actually set to talk about Rose Clark and Solorenko, so I didn't have that stat up yet in terms of his takedown defense. I think Hall only has like a 60% takedown defense. I'll have to look at that again on the tail of the tape, but it isn't fantastic. Let's see here on the UFC stats. So I hit something in the welcome, Brian. Hey, I hope everything's good. I'm having a little Lagunitas here. Ready to smoke this Ramon Allones cigar. So while people come on in, I'm going to, what do you guys know about Orso's in Chicago? If you're in Chicago and you want some good Italian food in a classic Chicago restaurant, Orso's is fantastic. They have a piano bar as well. It's been there for 50 years, maybe longer. So I'm going to light this cigar. I have a piece of cedar with me. I'm going to light up the cedar. What are we going to do? Are we going to poke this sucker here? I didn't bring my knife. Oh, yeah. See, one thing that's good with these dry cigars, and Brian's saying Max is a lock. We're going to get to Max Holloway soon. We'll discuss it. I'm going to use the blade here. And that's good because the cigar is a little brittle. So I'm going to be delicate. Boom. All right. And I'm just going to make a T in it. And as you see, there's actually like dust coming out of it. The cigar is so old. It's so old. I'm able to get a draw on it. Called a draw. Just like anything else. You get a draw on a cigarette. You get a draw on other things. We're going to use our cedar to light it. Not a lighter. Right? I'm going to use my wood matches from Orso's Italian restaurant. All right. Okay. This cedar should light up pretty easily. Yeah, look at that. So I'm going to light it up. Heat that cigar up. Look at how we would light that sucker up. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to boom. Let me see if I can light it up in front of you. See, I'm not going to puff it right now initially. I'm going to let the flame do a little work. Try to get a good even burn, especially with this older cigar. Ooh, come on. Oh, yeah, it's so yummy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm a lucky man. I am a lucky man. I am a lucky man, guys. This thing is still yummy. Oh, God, it's so good. The greenery of it, it has like this, not a floral, but my goodness. What a finish there. So I don't burn my house. It's so dry, it's gonna light, see? A little tight of a roll. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, real, like a floral taste to it with sort of like a naturally sweet finish. Like that's what I like in cigars. Sometimes I like it more that heavy chocolate in certain cigars. But like I remember this Ramon Allones, it speaks farm. It speaks, a tobacco farm. Like it just has that sort of wilderness, a wild taste to it, which I love. You know, it's like the essence of not just dirt, but of mm, trying to get some of the oils out. I think my issue here, and something you could do, like I did a small tea, but on the cap, what I could also do is take the wood match and put a little hole in it. And yeah, you're gonna get a better draw there. So, wow, man, this is still fantastic, guys. Can't tell you. You can't tell from the screen, and you'll never be able to taste a cigar like this. You'll never have a cigar like this. It's just unavailable. You know, unique, like myself. All right, yeah. So, yeah, take down Uriah Hall. Take down defense, 65%. That isn't going to work with Andre Muniz. I think his cardio is going to hold up. Hopefully, he's been working on it. I don't understand cardio with some of the Brazilians, some jiu-jitsu practitioners. Maybe it's just because he subs people so quickly that he doesn't go long in terms of his rolling sessions with people, but that I'm certain that changes. I've seen some jiu-jitsu matches that guys are intense for long periods of time with their grappling, and I know that Andre Muniz can roll, and he could roll for a while. So I think this is going to turn into a jiu-jitsu match. I think that Uriah Hall isn't going to be able to sustain himself or protect himself from getting taken down. And then once he gets down, Muniz, and I've mentioned it before, has that vice lock grip that he isn't going to be able to allow Uriah Hall to get back up. I am certain Uriah Hall is a very smart guy. Don't like his fighting style, but he's very smart, and I think he's going to be able to initially hold off those takedowns, and hopefully he does for like a round and a half. I'm expecting the sub sometime late in round 2 is what I'm hoping for. If it goes into round 3, that yes to go the distance prop that's at plus 320 right now is going to be in play. And if it ends up on the feet, Uriah Hall is very light on the volume, and Muniz's striking isn't fantastic. Hall will definitely have an advantage there. Not to go the distance in this particular bout is minus 500. So they're expecting a finish. They're expecting either Hall by TKO or Muniz by sub. And, you know, I sort of tend to agree, but I do like the over 1.5 in this particular bout. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you know, it has, you know, it is more like a walnut finish, which isn't fantastic, but that herbal flavor in the beginning, you know, that has this it's you know, it's just fantastic on the start. It's like I was in a jungle. I feel like I was in the jungle, and I picked this myself and I rolled it myself. That's how good it tastes. My goodness. I love these things. And look how even and uniform the burn is, right? That's what you want. Nice uniform burn. And you want to try to keep your ash as long as possible, as always, guys. So, and again, this is the Ramon Allones. It's a Corona from, I believe this one is pretty darn old. Probably, I think this one, man, it was part of Dunhill, and it came in a purple box. Like these were some old cigars. You could tell from like the band how old this thing is. And no one else in the chat. But so yeah, on this play, my play here on the bout between Andre Muniz and Uriah Hall is the yes to go distance prop. I'm sorry, not the yes to go distance. The over 1.5 at plus 120, and it is. I'm still going to put something on the Moonies by submission. I just have to. I've been going to the well for that submission long enough. I have to just keep going. Am I still casting here? I don't know. No one's in the chat. Other Brian came in for a moment and then he stopped. All right. So going on up and down the card. Let me go back to that. I was initially on Jessica Rose Clark in this particular matchup, but then I just remember that there was nothing impressive. I mean, she's a grappler from Australia, right? And had that story. There was a big push on her. Good-looking girl, great personality, but she fell into a submission. She's supposed to be a grappler, and she fell into a submission like super fast in her last outing. And I think she's just one-dimensional. I think this one, not to go the distance at plus 148 isn't a bad play. I think that Julia Solorenko is going to submit Jessica Rose Clark. She's going to get that arm bar possibly. Julia Solorenko by finish is plus 375. I was initially on the Clark Rose by finish at one point, just thinking that would happen, but I'm not feeling this particular bout. I might pass. I'm thinking of passing altogether, but that then not to go the distance prop. And although most women's fights do go to a decision, the not to go the distance prop at plus 148 might be something that I would chase if I play anything on that particular bout, because Julia Solorenko was supposed to be the Ronda Rousey of Lithuania, or I forget which country she's from, but she was really supposed to be a fantastic grappler. I don't think her grappling is that fantastic. It's not that elite, but it may be enough or better than Jessica Rose Clark jiu-jitsu. And Jessica Rose Clark is going to play the wrestling and jiu-jitsu game, and that's going to play right into Julia Solorenko's strength. So the line has changed a little bit. Jessica Rose Clark was even a larger favorite, so people are starting to jump on Julia Solorenko. I would stay away from it. There's no need to bet the thing this particular bout. The same could almost be said of Macy Barber and Jessica I. I am still big on Macy Barber. I played her in numerous parlays when she was back down at minus 230, but all of those parlays, because I put her with other people that got mushed, they mushed. So at this point, I was also considering Macy Barber by finish, because yes, Jessica I is a strong woman. She looked really healthy. She looked good on the scales, but I think maybe Macy Barber is the younger, even though she was not the same size, she still looked a little thicker. As Raj from Capper Comparison like to say, she just looked a little stronger, even though she's still small. And skill-wise, I think that this is a changing of the guard. This is Jessica I playing the gatekeeper role and Macy Barber's chance to shine. So I'm not there yet with Barber by finish at plus 320, but it's something, and not to go the distance of this particular bout is plus 200, but it's something that I'm still going to consider. I'm just going to sleep overnight with this. I'm not going to be playing as many plays on this. I think this is a sloppy card from a gambling standpoint. Fantastic card from a fan standpoint, but from a standpoint of gambling, I might only make 4 bets. I'm not going to do as many props as I normally do. I'm not over a lot of these. It's also a dog or pass card, right? I'm not going to be risking it on some of these dogs. I think the favorites in this particular card are going to shine. They're going to come out. They're going to be, it could be a little greasy. It could be a little close, but I think the favorites are in this particular card going to win out. Not all of them, but I think that it's going to be a favorites card. So I'm looking at this bout between Macy Barber and Jessica. I like Macy Barber to win. I just don't feel that there's a great position there because even her by decision is minus 124, which is ridiculously bad, right? I'm not going to bet that little bit of chalk. It's not great chalk, but I'm not going to bet that. I'm always like Raj from Capper Comparison, a lot of these other people, I love the plus money. And I know I got to get over it, but I still love the plus money. And if I could get the plus money on these decision or on these props, that's where I'm going to go, right? I mean, I hate betting prop bets that are not significant plus money. That's what I tend to do best is pick, some of these props that save my ass. I might put a unit on one of these props that is normally would be the, back like with Muniz. I had Muniz by sub at like plus 300 once, right? Or the first time I had him, I think it was even more than that. It was like plus 450 by sub. Vegas didn't have it. Now they know what he does, and now he's like minus 121 by submission. Just absurd. So I think Macy Barber's going to have this. She's going to be quicker. I think she's going to pressure Jessica I. Jessica I is going to be willing to stand and bang, and Macy Barber's going to take her down, beat her up, rinse and repeat. She's going to keep on doing it. Might even keep Jessica I down there. She might not submit her, but she's going to possibly ground her, pound her way to a victory. So if you're going to do anything, just go for Barber by finish. Is the meteor number at plus 320 because the TKO number is plus 360. The submission, which is unlikely, is plus 1100 for Barber. Submission for Jessica I is plus 1500. And those are the numbers that we used to see all the time on submission. And nowadays, on a lot of these props, Vegas is on to these prop bettors, and so the numbers have changed. We already talked about Uriah Hall, Andre Muniz. Yeah, you got to slow it down with these things. I'm talking so much, and I don't get the chance to enjoy this friggin' unique. It's getting better, also, guys. Right now, it's with the little something. It's a good compliment. Lagunitas little something with this particular cigar is a good compliment because the little something has a little bit more of a cinnamony, little spicier taste. Although this is not a spicy cigar. This is not a spicy cigar. I'm not a big fan of spicy cigars. I like more of that. The cigars have more of that nutty character. Whether it's like peanuts or walnuts or that have like great good oils. Like if you're tasting a very nice. What was the oil that I was thinking of? Like a truffle oil, like a really nice or just an oil that's very distinctive, very good olive oil that has a very unique taste and not really sharp, but somewhat has a greenery to it. And that's what this cigar has. So we talked about the Uriah Hall Muniz. Brad Tavares and Regis Duplessis. Duplessis is coming up in number. He looked fantastic on the scales. I wasn't so impressed with his strength of schedule in the UFC. Brad Tavares has been the fighter with more experience, but he's chinny. Yes, he has great takedown defense, but Duplessis is a finisher, 100% finish rate. I think he's going to be all over Brad Tavares, and he's going to catch that chin. Joey and I were eyeing Duplessis by finish, which I believe was plus 135. He has that very good submission grappling. I think his, what was his submission rate here? My computer's a little slow. Sorry for the lapse of sound, guys, but this is live. People are supposed to be in the chat talking, but it's late. No one knows that I was here, so that's okay. I haven't been making content. Really apologize for that, but it is what it is, guys. Let's look what Duplessis' submission ratio is. Duplessis. I know that he has 100% finish rate, but how many of those finishes are by submission? There we go. Yeah, all of it. Brad Tavares only has a 25% submission rate. He has a better XR. Brad Tavares has a better XR number, expected round number, but his expected round percentage is far less than Duplessis because Duplessis has 100% number of knockout wins, no losses, and well, no submissions in the UFC. But I know on the local circuit that in Africa he was a submission specialist. So I would look to him on that finish line. Him not to go the distance in this particular bout is minus 132. I don't think that's a bad number at all. That's chalk that we could cover. If you wanted a distance prop, I don't think that's bad. The Duplessis has dropped now, like I mentioned, plus 125. Duplessis by TKO or Brad Tavares by TKO is plus 600. Duplessis by TKO is plus 185. So you're better sticking with Duplessis by finish because he has that possible. I know that Tavares, yes, fantastic takedown defense. His takedown defense is 79%. Brad Tavares has faced 97 takedown attempts, and he's only been controlled 20% of his fights in the UFC, and he's faced at least 3 takedowns per 5 minutes at distance. So he's faced a lot of takedowns and defended it. 79% takedown defense in the UFC is pretty damn good, but Tavares doesn't have very good striking defense at 63%. He does have a little bit better knockout or a little bit more power, but he absorbs a few more strikes than Duplessis. And even though he has 4 knockouts in the UFC, Duplessis has 2. I think Duplessis has the better hands in this instance. He has the better significant striking accuracy. He does land a little bit strikes at distance, and he spends more time at distance, which means that he is able to control the octagon and where the fight happens. So give me Duplessis here. I'm not strong on him. I think that he's still a risk because he's coming up in levels, a risk to even parlay. But if you play the not to go the distance prop at minus 132 or take either Brad Tavares at plus 550 by finish is a value. I think that is, if you're on the Brad Tavares side, the money line's okay, but I like that finish line at plus 550. Hopefully this isn't going to be in a low-level MMA match. Duplessis look really good on the scales. I'm hoping that he's making some improvements. He's supposed to be somebody of a talent from that region of Africa. Let's see what he does. I think that chasing him by finish might be worthwhile. But again, it's another fight that most of these fights I'm really not too excited about. I was thinking of parlaying Duplessis, for example, as well, with another fighter that's coming up. Where are we at here? Yeah, fantastic. Next up, it's Brad Riddell and Jalen Turner. I'm all over Jalen Turner on this, and I'm even considering Jalen Turner by the submission. I know that Brad Riddell, I believe he has not been submitted on the local circuit, or he has never been submitted in the UFC, of course, but even on the local circuit, I don't think that he's been submitted. But I like Jalen Turner. The size variance between these guys is so significant, and Jalen Turner can grapple. Like he's got some serious jiu-jitsu, and if he could turn this, he's got the frame to just jump and literally bowl constrict the guy. Like he could jump guard onto Brad Riddell and choke him out because his limbs are so long. And the guy was like an albatross on the scale today. And Brad Riddell did not look good. Brad Riddell, to me, is a one-dimensional striker. He doesn't kick a lot. He's very active, great cardio. He could go all day. And he's got that one-punch power. And Jalen Turner is a little chinny. So on this particular bout, they are expecting violence with not to go the distance at minus 230. So we were talking about those props, not to go the distance, minus 230. I'm not going to cover that, but I do still like the over 1.5 at minus 159. I'm not going to go for it. Turner by finish plus 125. Again, they're not giving me a lot there. I prefer him by finish, but what I really like Turner by, even though Riddell hasn't been subbed, so he's the type of dude you got to sub him. You know, it took even Fiziev a while to knock him out, right? That knockout came in round 3. But Turner by submission at plus 500, I like that line. It's meaty for me. There's something to be made there, and I think that I might play that not like as a sprinkle. I'm gonna put that in a medium place. I'm gonna put maybe like a half unit on that, right? Yeah, I don't even have to place a half unit. Half unit would make me 300. Let me just put like $30 on it. You win $150. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I know it's a big risk, but when I hit those, I love it. That's when I hit those. That's when I feel like that I did. You know, that I love hitting those, and I do hit them. And one of those bets, a bet like that, could help, you know, save my night. You know, just that one bet allows me to cover 2 or 3 other bets sometimes. You know, it's awesome. So I'm liking the Turner by submission. Not the finish prop, but that submission prop. Because I don't think he's going to knock out Brad Riddell. If anything, he has an easy path to victory, or a better path to victory by grappling, by using his stature, not to keep Riddell at bay, but to sort of tempt him to come in, you know, and then snake him, coil him like a boa constrictor. You know, big boa constrictor is the way I look at Jalen Turner. He likes to be the spider. He's the spider guy, but I really look at Jalen Turner in this particular matchup to be the boa constrictor, just like Andre Muniz, to squeeze. I want him to squeeze this guy, Riddell, until he's out. I'm scared because the city kickboxing guys are wrestling. I know they're practicing the shit out of their wrestling. You hear Izzy talking shit that he's going to wrestle, that he might submit Jared Cannonier. Yeah, I don't think that's all just smoke and mirrors or just talk. You know, I think they are practicing and drilling a lot of wrestling over there because they realize that that's their weakness. That's like the main aspect of their MMA game that they have to improve on. So I think Riddell's going to be ready for the grappling, but Jalen Turner, just having that span, that wingspan, if he could protect his chin, I think he has that easy path to victory by wrapping Riddell up and choking him out. You know, not going for an armbar, not trying to be fancy with a triangle or anything, not taking that bottom position, but keeping it up. A standing rear naked choke, you know, backpacking him and getting on his back and just choking him out. Really can see that happening, and that's what I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet something on that. That will be my sort of outlier, or my, not quite a flyer, but that will be like my, or I guess my Hail Mary to an extent, but that's going to play that I'm going to be looking at, because I really think that Turner's size advantage here and his grappling advantage is going to allow us to see him get a finish there, and he's going to be the one doing the finish, or he's going to get knocked out. So that's where I'm going to go on that particular matchup. I did not talk about Ian Gary and Gabe Green. I'm staying hell away from this. This is definitely a dog or pass situation here. Ian Gary has not, I mean, the guy is talented, but what has he done for us in the UFC? He gets hit a lot. He goes the distance, like even in this particular round, and Gabe Green could bring it. Like he's an overachiever. He's got some power himself. He might have better grappling than Ian Gary. We haven't seen Ian Gary's submission grappling yet. I think he primarily has been a kickboxer, but Gabe Green has been doing fantastic. I think all the value on the dog side is on the dog side. Gabe Green at plus 145. Green by finish at plus 400. The Green decision at plus 350. Green by PKO at oh God, oh. Where's he at? Missed the ashtray there. Hey, Leon Nishtog. What's going on, Leon? How are you doing, brother? We're smoking the Ramon Allones vintage cigar here today. It's a Corona. And we're having a Lagunitas little something something. But yeah, I think all the value, I'm